What's up, lunatics? I just want to cover some quick, easy ways to improve your sniping game on Kanami on the base escort map. Even right from spawn, there's things you can be doing. First thing is, rather than just sticking your entire body out, you can stand against the wall and see if there's people over there, right? There will be people sometimes clinging to this wall using the right-hand advantage peek to try to peek you. An easy way to line up the shot is you could stand behind the wall, right? They cannot hit you from here. And when they peek, you'll see their head. And all you have to do is move forward a little bit. That's it. You just strafe to the side, right? You'll already be lined up on their head. They'll peek their head out and they're dead, right? So that's the first thing you can do. Another thing you could do is you could place your scan here on the pillar, here on the corner of the house. You could place it here on this pillar at the top of this house. When you come out, the other places you could put it are on pillar here, top of house here. If you're having a hard time and you decide to come down here and you're struggling to really get out, you can always drop it on shutters, right? You can always put on shutters. It just easily gets it out there. The nice thing about this is, think about this. The only people they're going to be able to shoot it up high without having to take their guns off of your team are someone hanging up here in this corner. They can essentially, what they could do is, if they've got this vantage point and they're, for some reason, they're watching here and you've pushed up a bit more and they see that the scan has been put up, they can poke out real quick, shoot it. They can look up real quick, shoot it. So it's not as drastic, but for people that are down here, for example, you know, down in this area, and they're getting scanned from this one, they have to take their eyes off of these double doors. They have to take their eyes off of this area, this area, this area, and this area. So they're already kind of in a precarious location. And then having to go all the way up here to shoot your scan is not great for them. And then anybody hiding on low cubby will get scanned by this, they'll get scanned by this, and they'll get scanned by tip of house. Same goes for up here on heaven cubby. They will get scanned from this. It's a lot easier for them to hit this one safely though. They can simply back up, pop that, and this one they have to look a bit higher. So you definitely have options, okay? So for this first section, use your scans wisely. Stop fucking coming over here and pushing up like this and then scanning there. Because what are you accomplishing by scanning this, honestly? Anybody who's standing on this side of trees isn't going to get scanned. They're standing over here for whatever reason, which they shouldn't be, holding this angle. They're probably not getting scanned. You scan anybody over here, right? This gets scanned. Up here gets scanned. But you're not really seeing much more than that. Maybe somebody standing in the opening there. It's a weak scan, and it's really easy for somebody to just turn around, not change the level of their aim vertically, and pop it, and then go about their business. I almost forgot to mention you could do this. I totally almost forgot to mention you could place a scan up there. My bad. That sees a lot of the area too. And people don't look that high. If you're going to be sniping up here, keep in mind they can see your fucking head from below. Even if you're standing back a bit more, they can still snap you in the face. Another place you can fight the sniper / Audrey nest is right here. Same thing. You can place your cursor kind of at head level and then just tap them. You know, just tap them, and you're good to go. If you're worried about the people over here, if you're standing on waterfall, you got to watch out for people behind you. You can do a very similar thing and shoot them in the same way. Always keep in mind when you're playing sniper, you can always line up your shot before you peek. It's very, very easy. Okay? So be cognizant of that. And the defense sniper can do that to you too. They can line up their shot and then pop out and shoot you. Now, a common place that teams are going to find themselves fighting for payload superiority during overtime or right before overtime is from here, like right here-ish, to basically right up until where it registers, right? And you as Kanami, you're going to lose some of your value here because this is a clusterfuck, right? So you either need to get really good at using your ADS speed upgrade to quick peek somebody, right? Use this corner, hug it, and then you can kind of see, okay, somebody's here, pop, dead, right? And then repeat. Your other job is to stop people from respawning and coming through this choke here. There's a few ways you can do that. You could do it from down below, down here. Okay. You can use this wall here to your advantage and do the same thing. This way, if your team's starts to get overwhelmed, you can take fights as well for them down here. So keep that in mind. Oh, scan-wise, this should be pretty easy, but you can do chimneys. Chimneys will not only scan this entire area here so that you can see everything you need to see, but chimneys is also going to scan over here. So you can see if somebody decides to be a sneaky little shit, come out of spawn, and then fly this way, right? They're going to be scanned. And then you're going to know, okay, they're going to sneak up top, they're going to come around, and then they're going to try to shoot your team from up here. And you can either comms it or ping it so that they know. It's escort, so the chances of your teammates paying attention are pretty low, but at least you'll have the information. If you choose to fight from sniper nest, I mean, obviously you've got here, right? You could do the same thing, you know, and pop out and shoot. Keep in mind though, if you want to help when the payload is here, you know, by trees, it's going to be a bit more difficult, right? Because not only do you have people coming from this side, you're going to have people hanging out in house and shop, sorry, and then people over here. And you also have this spot here. You're not going to be sniping people here. You're not going to really be sniping people here. Hitting people directly below you, because sometimes people hang out at bottom of stairs, is going to be pretty difficult. And then realistically, you're only going to be fighting this angle, and maybe this angle, and then anybody in the open, right? And that's a lot of angles to cover. So what can we do? What can we do to give ourselves an advantage to help our team? Well, A, keep your scans up, but also B, believe it or not, if you guys had knocked out 2 people already, killed 2 people, and they have to respawn, right? You can watch the respawn. The battle ends in 20 seconds. And hold this angle and stop them from approaching. This way your team, instead of having to take a, you know, essentially a 4v5 on payload, they can be responsible for taking a 4v3, right? Or 4v2, depending on how many you've killed. And you can buy them time to make that final push. Realistically, that'll help a lot. So we switch sides, but I can still show what I want to show. So now your team has gotten your payload from here to here on street, right? Honestly, anywhere in this bend, all the way up to here. This is a point of contention for a lot of teams. They don't know how to push this. They struggle. Either too many people are trying to flank and failing, or they're all trying to push payload. And they got enemies holding here, enemy holding here, one holding up here, another holding over here. It's just a bad time, right? And you're not able to win your gunfights, not able to win team-wise. What can you do as a sniper when you're not being a duelist to make an impact? So you got your payload up. You came out of spawn, right? One of the things you can do is you can come here, preload your dart. You just aim, get a quick scan here. The nice thing about that scan is it's going to see all the way deep into there. That scan's going to see all of this, right? And it's even going to have visual on some down here. It's not going to see up in this area, and it's not going to see deep in here, right, or in houses. But it's a quick scan you can do if smokes are up and there's team fights happening, to make sure that your team is able to see what they need to see. A lot of times you'll see some snipers hide on box, and they'll just try to hold down this tiny area. The problem, what winds up happening with this, is that what are you really hitting? Right, you're fighting the main line where the escort truck already is. Your duelist team and your team should already be dealing with that. Your supports and your team, you need to be helping more with other things. If there's an Audrey up top here and a sniper, I guess you could get into like a sniper duel if you really wanted to. But again, your job should be at this point providing as much support and being as annoying as possible. I would almost say play this like you would play an assassin type character, where you're semi-mobile and you're fighting from areas the enemy wouldn't expect. Never put yourself in a situation where you're going to get caught in a 1v2 or a 1v3. If your team is all standing right here and fighting, and you come up here to help, to shoot one of their backlines, and you take the shot and you miss and they see you, or you kill someone and they see you, immediately start running. If nobody's reacted to you, you know, Strinova, come back and then line up another shot. Someone's hanging out over here, you know, line up another shot, kill them. But I wouldn't hang around too long and get tunnel vision trying to pick people off, because what's going to happen is eventually they're going to come in and they're going to start throwing grenades at you. They're going to try to bum rush you while your team's taking a gunfight in this clusterfuck while they're also getting flanked. Because don't forget, the enemies can also come from over here, run all the way behind if they so choose, right? And it doesn't take long because stringifying for the glide is pretty quick. Then come through here behind your team and fucking kill you, and you're dead. You can get pincered before you know it. Some assholes I've seen will also run all the way around through spawn, right? There's like 10 seconds on the spawn timer, so no one can come and stop them. They'll come through here and then they'll blast you from down below. So just be cognizant of your positioning, especially when sniping and you don't have allies with you. Another thing that is really nice is if, let's say, you're in a situation where you have 3 people in play and they have 3 people in play and you're waiting for respawns and your team is pushed up to here, you are pretty safe to stand here now, as long as you're watching this area so that you know you're not going to get flanked. Funnily enough, if your team's here and you want to help by just holding this angle and they're pushing from here to payload delivery, hanging out here and just like tilting your camera a bit so you can see this doorway makes it really easy for you to be like, oh, this asshole's trying to flank. You know what I mean? And then you can call it out and go from there. Kanami obviously has an advantage coming to this location once your team is pushed up to roughly around corner, at the very least. Because while you may not be able to see here,
the battle ends in 40
you're able to
seconds.
stop them from running in as easily from spawn. And take this fight much, much easier. Okay. And then you can do the thing where you line up ahead of time and you say, all right, goodbye. You also could use your util. And for scans, you have a few good scans. You have this scan here on pillar. You have this scan. Anything that's up high and kind of annoying for them to hit where they're in the middle of a gunfight is where you'd want to put it. But anyways, we're on to essentially the third area now. So you've made it through the first 2 locations. You're providing good intel. You're locking down areas with Kanami. What can you do here? Now that your payload is here and it's moving upwards, what are you going to do here? Well, one of the obvious locations is you can go right up here. But do not fight from here, though. Is it nice to be able to drop back to the wall? Sure, right? You could always just snag wall, come back, see what they're doing. Okay, nice. And then shoot them. Whether you want to drop shot or you want to properly come out on the wall. I did that wrong. So there's that. You could always do that. You know, you could always fight from here, see what's going on. You gotta be more cognizant of this area here, though. But realistically, your goal when your team is pushing up on payload here is to use the payload cover, right? You're gonna use the payload cover. You're gonna use this wall here as much as you feasibly can. All right, and use this wall here. Try not to fight from this angle because, again, you don't really have the right-hand advantage. You're going to be sticking out and be shootable well before you're going to be able to shoot back. If you must do this side, take your peek, see where they are, take a jump shot. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's better than just eating shit for free. What you really want is you want to be able to get here. You want to be able to get to this wall. You do not want to be the one in the front, though. If your team is all sitting back here, right, or they're fighting over there by themselves, and you're here, and you're too busy fucking scoping in, trying to take care of heaven and hell, you're gonna get caught off guard from here and here before you know it. But yes, use this wall to assist your team in dealing with heaven. When it's appropriate to do so, when your team's moved up a bit, whether it's there or here, you know, move to boxes, because even here, you can shoot above the boxes, right? You can shoot through here. Easy scan points for this location. Again, you want to go high, you can go there, you can go there. Once you've moved up a bit, you can utilize, I think it was this one. I could be incorrect. Was this usable? I can never remember. I think I tried it before. Yeah, I'll have to try it again. But you can use those spots. You can also, I don't know if they fixed it, but there was a spot in the leaves where the symbol was kind of hidden. The music note. I'll have to come back to you on that one. Yeah, so you can kind of hide it in the leaves. I think it has to be more here-ish though. But they're gonna see that. It does scan quite a bit. I wouldn't rely too heavily on that though. Once you get payload up to this bend here, We got a few options. I mean, I can't get into the building because I'm on attack, but a few options being you can fight from here. This allows you to see heaven and hell relatively easily, and you can also help fight the main channel, take out Audreys that are up here. I don't know why, but at lower elos, I can find myself holding spawn from here pretty safely. You just got to watch out for people climbing up and killing you from behind, right? Because they got right here where they can stringify and come up. Another spot you can fight from that is extraordinarily convenient is box. You can hit spawn from here. You can hit a lot of this location here. You can also hit them from there. You have ability to hang on doors and hit a quick peek on spawn. You're probably not going to be fighting this angle as much. This angle is more for like your Ica, your Bimo, your Ming, anybody who wants to slip behind, Fuchsia. But yeah, I think all in all, this character's got a lot of options as to where they can take gunfights and how they want to put scans down. You could do chandelier scans. You could do either of the pillar scans is fine. You never want to put it here in center because then it'll get cut off from the sides. Hopefully this was educational for some of you and at least gave you some things that you haven't thought of before that you can implement into your game plan and departure zone with Kanami. I'm planning on doing more of these like easy positional tips and tricks, utility / ability videos in the future. If you have a character you want me to cover on a specific map, let me know. I mostly play escort, so don't ask me for much on ranks. But yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.